And we're back, guys. How's everyone doing? Welcome to Tennis in a Minute. I'm your host, Good Energy. This is the late night segment where, look, we call it Tennis After Dark. We're going to take a look at the two tournaments remaining before SW19, and we have Bad Homburg. This is the semifinal. It's going to be a good match, but first, I want to just take a quick look briefly at SW19. Now, listen, these are my top four players to win it. I will post a poll in the community. You can leave your opinion. You can vote, and I think an American's going to win Wimbledon. We all know last year I said a Czech player would win it, and I think an American's going to win it this year. I like in terms of top Americans to have a chance to win Wimbledon. It's going to be the big three guys, Coco, Pegula, or Madison Keys. But we have a sleeper, Alicia Parks, in the mix. Listen, guys, Alicia Parks, she has something that a lot of players don't have on tour, right? She's got raw power. And it doesn't matter how good you are, how skilled you are, what game plan you come into the match with. When you're facing someone with the power of an Alicia Parks and she's healthy, she's finally healthy, she's back in the spotlight. She's a big name. We all know, in case you're new to the channel, Alicia Parks is a big name on this channel. You know, Coco is as well, Iga, Ans, Leylah, Emma. All the ladies are amazing, but Alicia Parks is powerful. She's aggressive, right? And her power, I mean, just listen to how highly her peers talk about her. Her power has enough to change the course of any match, any service game, any point. She's very powerful, and she's finally healthy again. And she's going to be a problem in this draw for anyone she faces. And I'm telling you guys, my top four players. Now, I do think an American's going to win it. Coco's my pick to win it, but I think Alicia Parks can go deep, and I think she's a sleeper. My top four players to win Wimbledon this year: Coco Gauff in the mix there, Sabalenka in the mix there, Elena Rybakina in the mix, and Ons Jabeur in the mix. Those are my four picks to win it. If you're wondering where Iga is, I don't think Iga's going to win Wimbledon, guys. She hasn't played a grass tournament. Even though she's a junior Wimbledon champion, it's she hasn't played a grass tournament. She's coming from clay. Me personally, I think her goal is she's putting her eggs in one basket, and I say it all the time. Focus on what you're good at. Become great at that. She's great on clay. I don't think she's focusing on grass that much. I think her goal is to win gold. I think that is her focus. And a lot of the ladies that feel they don't have a chance to win gold, they're not even going to the Olympics. Iga's putting her eggs in one basket. I think she's focusing on winning that gold for Poland. I think that means a lot to her. I think, look, she's young enough to where she can come back and focus on grass next year. Look at Osaka. She's never put a concern on grass. She's doubled down at what she's great at. And Iga's not in my top list to win Wimbledon. And actually, a lot of the experts, they don't have Iga winning Wimbledon as well. She's not. And a lot of people are outraged that, you know, some experts do have her winning it as the overall favorite, being the number one seed. But here's the thing you got to realize, right? Coco's the number two ranked player in the world now. She's not going to have Iga in her draw anymore, you know, as long as she's number two at least. They're going to meet each other in the championship. So if Iga slips up in these slams, and that's always been Coco's problem. She's been, you know, like either 3 or 4. Now that Coco's number two, she's not going to have to worry about Iga unless they meet in the championship. If Iga slips up, Coco's going to win a lot more tournaments and master events, but again, she's got to take care of players like Pegula. Pegula's an X factor that can ruin the plans. I mean, Coco should have won that last tournament, but nonetheless, we'll get back to the main draw. Stay tuned. I will cover every match with free predictions. And remember, guys, this is for entertainment purposes only. What you do is your opinion. That's up to you. This channel here, it's really about, covering these matches, giving you really good play by play, breaking down the stats and how the players are doing overall. And let's take a look at this first match here, guys. We have Bad Homburg. We have Diana Snyder taking on Emma Navarro. Now, Emma Navarro, she lucked up, ladies and gentlemen. Right? She's going to be in the Olympics. Why? Because Madison Keys said going from clay to grass, back to clay again, not something she really wants to focus on. At her age, she wants to really put all her eggs in one basket. She's a great hard court player. Most of her wins are on hard. And she wants to really focus on the Western and Southern Open leading up to the U.S. Open, where, look, she made the semifinal last year at the U.S. Open. She's won the Western and Southern Open in the past. And I can't blame her, but me personally, look, clay is the easiest surface on your joint. So I don't know if a lot of these excuses that I'm hearing, I don't know if they're legitimate, to be honest with you. Clay is the easiest surface on your body. And to go from clay to, me personally, going from clay to grass is much more difficult than going from clay to hard. I mean, you're going, or even back from grass to clay to hard. Going back from grass to clay, it's going to be easier in your joints than going to hard. So I don't get it. I think I understand the reasons why, but again, I don't get it. I mean, Coco did say it will be a challenge for her, but a lot of players that are playing the Olympics, that's not, a big concern they have, but nonetheless, guys, matchup here, Diana owns a head-to-head against Emma Navarro, right? They played once. Diana won that matchup, and that actually was on clay in Paris this year. So it went 3 sets, tough match. Diana finds herself here in the semifinal after taking out Kerber, underdog. Told you guys she'd win that. Yastremka, told you she'd win that. And Badosa, that's a match that I didn't call that. But I definitely would have told you to take Diana because why? Paula Badosa gets tired. I talked about her stamina in the past. Now, Emma finds herself here after taking a Jacqueline Christian from Romania, Peyton Stearns, and Waz, who retired after losing the second set 6-1, and the third set was about to get ugly. Again, I'm concerned with Waz. I mean, you put up this big fuss about not getting a wild card at the French Open, but you haven't been healthy. And it's like, listen, I'm going to take a page from Osaka's father's playbook. If you're a tennis player, play tennis. There's a lot of complaining, and the tour is getting to the point where we want the big names in these big tournaments, but at some point you have to prove that you can win and you belong there. Right? Just the free handouts. I don't know. It's kind of getting a bit played out, right? Just giving players handouts in these big tournaments over and over again, essentially giving them free points when there's so many qualifiers, there's so many players that deserve that shot and could really use that opportunity to propel their career. We have a lot of these players, they're just getting free passes in these tournaments. And before you know it, they're back inside the top 100 when they didn't do anything, when they're having losing seasons. That kind of needs to stop, right? If you're good enough, prove it. If you watch my shorts, the videos, the song by Kendrick Lamar, like that, if you're like that, prove it. If you're a champion and you pop bottles after you win the trophy, prove it. Show the fans that you're capable. But to just keep getting free spots into these big tournaments, essentially you win a match, you gain points, and you climb the rankings. I don't know, I'm just a bit over it, right? Now, this is a matchup here where we have Diana, who she's a crafty lefty, guys. She loves to come forward, good top spin. And Emma Navarro, she likes the deep ball. She likes the baseline. She loves to get to her backhand. Classic case of forehand versus backhand. Now, even though Diana owns the head-to-head, I like Emma in this spot. The reason I like Emma is she's going to use her deep ball to keep, and look, a very impressive win by Diana over Paula Badosa. That's big time. But bit of a different game here, right? Emma does prefer her backhand. She's going to keep Diana backed up. And I feel if she continues to keep Diana behind that baseline with those deep baseline shots in her backhand, I think Emma, as long as she serves well, she should beat Diana in this spot. So I do like Emma Navarro to defeat Diana Snyder in this spot. We'll take Emma to make the championship match here in Bad Homburg as she defeats Diana Snyder. Up next, we have the hard-hitting Dana Vekic from Croatia taking on Tomova from Bulgaria. Now, Tomova's solid. She's been one of the players I've been talking about for a while. She's reached her high on the rankings. I want to say she's ranked like 58th or something like that. And we know Vekic at one point was a former top 20 player, right? Very good player. She barely broke the top 20 by that. I want to say that was her run in 2019, if I'm not mistaken. That was a star-studded U.S. Open in 2019 where BB won it. We were there. Serena Williams, she defeated Serena in that match. And Serena, I think Serena might have took her a little bit lightly. She took her a bit lightly, and then tennis, especially females tennis, it's not, you don't have the extra sets, versus like the men's do in the slam events. So if you get behind early, the match is over, which is one thing about the men's, where usually in these slams, the better player will win, due to the extended sets. But I think Serena took her a bit lightly, and it cost her history. It really did. But again, we like to travel to all the big events, and it's for just to support these ladies. To be honest with you, when we go to these tennis matches, we're okay with spending the money because we want to see a good match. We're only there to see a good match, see good entertainment, and support the sport. That's why we go to these matches. We're supporting the sport. No other reason. We want to move this sport forward into the next generation to where I think it has the potential to be one of the largest sports, to be honest with you, and that's the WTA we're talking about. Tomova, look, solid player, right? Ranked 58th on the World Tour, having a pretty good season. This is her best grass year. I mean, she's 4-0 on grass. She's never been 4-0 up to this point, any year of her career. She's here in the semifinal after taking out Taylor Townsend in the quarterfinals. She had to come through there. Tatiana Maria, good defensive player. Lena Noskova, who, to be honest with you, I mean, look, she's got Petra's old coach. I think her grass game has been disappointing, right? I think Lena's got that low forehand. She's got that low ball, which you would think she would be a good grass player. I don't get it. Lena's not a good grass player, and again, she's still young. I think it may come in the future, but to have Petra's old coach who won Wimbledon, I'm not getting that. And Jeannie Bouchard actually talked about, and it's just a question I've been asking for so long. Do you guys think grass season needs a master event? And do you think it's too short? I do think it's too short, but again, more injuries happen during this short session than any other, slam season. And that does concern me as well. I think it's tough to maintain grass, all throughout the year, but I don't know. Something's got to be done. Too many injuries happen. So, I mean, I guess it's kind of fine where it is. But if you do add a master, that means we're playing the season till nearly December. You're going to have to cut other tournaments out. So, I don't know if the schedule is going to allow for it. But Anna Blinkova, she also that went 3 sets. Good match because Blinkova was playing well. Vekic is here after taking out Bronzetti, Ekaterina, and Siniakova. Now, the match with Siniakova, I mean, look, it's a walkover. She didn't even play. She's headed off to Wimbledon, and you're going to have that in these late tournaments, so you got to be careful. Remember Iga last year withdrew. Bronzetti had the matchup with Siniakova. Stars want to get settled in their hotels, all the reservations, get everything situated. Because remember, with the slams, the coaches are not, it's not only the players that are taken good care of, but also the coaches. The coaches have, the room and board, the free meals, all that good stuff. So this is why players want to make it to the slams. You can have your coaches there, all their expenses are covered. The slams are a very big deal, and I'm glad to see these upcoming Americans like you know, um, Robin Montgomery, who's a junior slam champ twice, and Alicia Parks that are here. Katie Volinets. These Americans are here. Kessler, they're here, and their coaches, their staff will be well taken care of. This is a matchup here where I like Donna Vekic and her power. Victoria's playing solid tennis, but I do think Vekic, if she gets to her backhand, it's going to be a long day for Tomova. So I'll take Donna Vekic to win this match. That's the pick there. Now let's head to where are we going, guys? Eastbourne. That's right, where Maddie Patty's the champion here, and we're going to start things off with Jasmine Paolini. Now listen, guys, I know the last official, I've been giving you, picks here and there, but the last official prediction video, we went like 7-0, right? So pretty good. I haven't really been interested in a lot of these matches, so which is why the coverage has been limited. But also, like, I got a lot going on with my other businesses that I run. So we're ending the fiscal year on, you know, on my company. So a lot of things going on here. So, but that's why also coverage has been limited as well. But I'm also just ready for Wimbledon, right? So Paolini taking on Dasha. This is going to be a good matchup. Now, we saw earlier today, Dasha, she took out Emma Raducanu. I think it's just a bad matchup for Emma, right? I think Dasha hits much more better on the move, right? She's more athletic. She's got better stamina. And Emma's stamina is something that I've noticed, even though she's healthy now. In the past, I've noticed her stamina is not that great, and I don't think she hits well on the move. Being that the backhand, I think, is her strongest shot, and she would agree as well. You got to plant that shot. That's a shot that you essentially need to be stationary to get the maximum effect out of it. Tough to hit a running backhand, although she can do it. Dasha's much more loose with her forehand. She can hit those running shots. Bad matchup, right? You can't stop and get planted when you're having to run all over the court and get balls back. It's going to be a bad matchup whenever Dasha plays Emma. This is the second time they played. It's the second time that Dasha's been the underdog here. It's Emma's popularity that gives her these odds, and the reality here is Dasha's going to be here probably every time they play unless Dasha's injured. Jasmine, on the other hand, she's a lot more explosive, a lot more athletic. She can get to these spots where Dasha's returning these balls, and she could put Dasha on the back foot because she's going to speed her up with her athletic ability. I think that's going to be a problem for Dasha in this spot. I like the underdog here. I like Paolini to win this match. It's going to be tough for Dasha. It's going to be tough for her to gain control of these rallies. Paolini's going to be too fast. She's going to be too athletic. What Emma lacked, Jasmine has. Now, if Dash is going to win, what I think she'll need to do, she's going to have to pin Jasmine deep. We've seen Jasmine struggle deep behind that baseline because then she's going to resort to her forehand and she can make a lot of errors that way. If Dasha, and the problem is Dasha, the longer the rally goes, the more topspin she's going to use. And Jasmine's just going to come back until she can step up and hit a winner. I like Paolini to win this match. I think it's going to be a bad matchup for Dasha either way. I like Paolini to win. And then we have long head, don't care, Leylah Fernandez. Now, Leylah says Lil Wayne's her favorite artist. You know that line's from Lil Wayne. So if you don't know, now you know. You know, some people get it, some people don't. We have a lot of older people on the channel, which is great. I love you guys. Thanks for the support. But some people, they're not familiar with why I say that. Leylah Fernandez, her favorite artist is Lil Wayne. That's a line from Lil Wayne. But here's the thing. I've been saying that before she came out and said Lil Wayne's her favorite artist because she whips her hair out, right? Now, Madison Keys, guys, she's the reigning and defending champion here. She's the highest seed left. She's the 4th seed. And The last time they played a couple years ago at the French Open, probably 3 years ago by now, where Keys handed out a breadstick and won the second set 7-5. Now, Leylah Fernandez is here. She was the favorite to win. What was that? Birmingham? Leylah was the favorite to win, and she lost. Now, that was after, actually, that was even before Barbora was eliminated. Yeah, Leylah was a favorite, even with the higher seed Barbora, which is interesting. So she beat Barbora in the first round here in 3 sets. She took out Ashlyn Kruger in straight sets and Harriet Dart, the Brits, in straight sets. Keys is here after taking out, of course, reigning champ, seeded. She had to bye. And Elena in the 16 and Mukova on a walkover. Keys hasn't played a lot. That concerns me because Fernandez is battle tested. Similar matchup, to be honest with you, to Dasha and Paolini. If Keys, well, actually, no, not that similar because Keys, she has a really good kick serve on grass. She's got a nice low ball. She's much more powerful, and she's not looking to extend rallies like Dasha. So it is a different matchup, but similar in the fact that if Dasha pins Paolini deep, she'll struggle with the forehand. If Keys pins Leylah deep, Leylah's going to struggle every which way because Keys is too powerful. She's a short rally player, and she has a nice low ball on that forehand. It's going to be very difficult to return on grass. However, Leylah has an advantage coming forward. She has an advantage with the short ball. I showed you the video where Emma Raducanu started to struggle against Dasha, and she went to the short ball. You see how these balls drop on grass, literally. So Raducanu hit the drop shot. The ball literally took one bounce and then just literally swerved the left out of bounds. It's a winner. You can't return that. And if Leylah goes to the short ball, she's going to have success. Guys, I think the first set goes over 8.5. We're going to take the easy total there. Again, nothing's easy, though, when you're giving out these picks. But we're going to take the first set over 8.5. I think both ladies are going to hold early on. Leylah always holds early on. She doesn't get blown away. Madison Keys and her power is going to, in her serve, is going to enable her to hold as well. So those are the picks, guys. I like the first set over 8.5 here with Leylah and Keys. I like Paolini to upset Dasha. I like Vekic to beat Tomova. And I like Emma Navarro to hold her own versus Diana Snyder. Now, Wimbledon SW19, it's here, guys. My pick is for Coco to win it. I do think an American will win it. Much like I said last year, I think a Czech player will win it. This year, I'm getting the American vibe. I think an American will go over there and take it. I don't think Iga's going to win it. I don't think Rybakina is going to win. She doesn't look good, hasn't played. Sabalenka seems like something's wrong with her, you know? So stay tuned. We're going to talk about Wimbledon in depth, guys. We're going to go over the full